Welcome, everyone. Today, BarbaraONeill shares something truly eye-opening, the #1 at-home test to check your lung health. Most people fail this simple test, but you don't have to. Your lungs are your life force, and keeping them strong means keeping your entire body full of energy, youth, and vitality. So, take a deep breath. Let's see how healthy your lungs really are and what you can do to make them even stronger. BarbaraONeill's message about the simple at-home lung health test carries a deep and inspiring lesson about self-awareness, responsibility, and empowerment. She reminds us that true health doesn't always require expensive tools or medical checkups. It begins with understanding and listening to your own body. The simple act of breathing in deeply and timing how long you can hum afterward becomes a mirror reflecting the strength and vitality of your lungs. Most people are surprised when they try it for the first time because they realize how quickly they run out of air. This hum test, though easy, is an honest assessment of how well your lungs are functioning and how much care they truly need. When you can hum for less than 10 seconds, it shows that your lungs are struggling, your breathing is shallow, and your body is not getting the full amount of oxygen it craves for renewal and energy. But if you can hum for 20 seconds or more, that means your lungs are in good condition, supplying your blood and brain with the oxygen that fuels life itself. BarbaraONeill uses this test not to scare anyone, but to awaken a sense of awareness. She believes that the body speaks to us constantly, but we rarely stop to listen. The hum test teaches that even a small daily habit can reveal how your health is progressing. It's not about perfection. It's about progress, attention, and intention. Each time you practice this breathing test, you give your lungs a little exercise, gently encouraging them to stretch, expand, and become stronger. Oxygen is life, and when you breathe deeply, your entire body responds with gratitude. Your cells become more alert, your brain feels sharper, and your heart beats with greater balance and calm. For seniors, this test offers more than just physical insight. It becomes a symbol of hope. Aging doesn't mean decline. It means understanding your body better and giving it what it needs to thrive. BarbaraONeill teaches that we are not victims of time but students of it. With patience and consistency, even something as simple as controlled breathing can renew the lungs and restore a sense of energy that many thought was lost. The beauty of this at-home test is in its simplicity. No devices, no doctors, no fear, just you and your breath. It reminds you that your health is always in your hands and that your breath connects your body, mind, and spirit in one continuous flow of life. Each time you take a deep breath, you are giving yourself the gift of vitality. Each second you hum, you are training your lungs to serve you longer and better. Barbara's test is not just about measuring air. It's about rediscovering the power you hold within your own body, one breath at a time. BarbaraONeill's belief that the lungs can be strengthened at any age is both scientifically grounded and deeply motivational. She often reminds her audience that the human body is not a fixed machine that wears out beyond repair, but a living, adaptable organism that constantly renews itself when given the right environment. Many older adults fall into the trap of believing that declining energy, shortness of breath, and fatigue are just unavoidable parts of aging. Barbara challenges this belief by showing that the lungs, like any muscle or organ, respond positively to attention, movement, and care. Breathing is the most fundamental act of life, and yet most people do it shallowly, depriving their cells of the oxygen needed to repair and energize the body. She encourages seniors to view breathing as an exercise, not an automatic function, and to consciously engage with their breath through simple practices each day. Even those in their later years can expand their lung capacity by incorporating slow, deep breathing routines, light physical activity, and mindfulness. The lungs can regain flexibility when they are used regularly and deeply. Simple practices such as sitting tall, lifting the chest, and inhaling until the diaphragm fully expands help retrain the lungs to open up again. Barbara reminds listeners that consistent small habits are far more powerful than occasional efforts. 5 minutes of focused deep breathing each morning, gentle walks in fresh air, and light stretches throughout the day may seem insignificant, but they collectively transform the lungs' efficiency over time. Each breath becomes an act of renewal, each inhale a message to the body that life continues to flow. She also emphasizes the emotional connection to lung health. When people feel hopeless, their breathing becomes shallow. When they feel inspired, their lungs naturally expand. This link between breath and emotion means that revitalizing the lungs also begins with cultivating a positive, peaceful mindset. Gratitude, optimism, and joy literally allow people to breathe more freely. Barbara teaches that it's never too late to start this process. The body listens immediately to care and attention, and it begins to respond from the very first breath you take consciously. Aging does not stop regeneration, it simply slows it down, and even then, the body remains willing to heal if we support it with movement, oxygen, and proper nutrition. Older adults who start to practice deep breathing and lung exercises often notice improved energy, clearer thinking, better sleep, and reduced stress. The change is not only physical, but emotional and spiritual. The lungs are the bridge between the inner and outer world, and learning to strengthen them brings balance to both. BarbaraO'Neill's message reminds us that every breath holds the power of renewal, and that no matter your age, you have the ability to strengthen your lungs, energize your body, and reclaim the vitality that aging may have seemed to take away. BarbaraO'Neill's message about healing through breath and movement captures the essence of how life itself flows through the body. She believes that the lungs are not passive organs, but active participants in our health, constantly seeking expansion and renewal. When a person breathes deeply, oxygen floods into the bloodstream, nourishing every cell and awakening dormant energy. Shallow breathing, on the other hand, keeps the body in a state of fatigue, tension, and stagnation. Barbara emphasizes that healing begins with the simplest action, breathing with awareness. Each inhale is a gift, and each exhale is a release. By consciously engaging with the rhythm of breath, older adults can bring vitality back into their bodies and minds. She teaches that the more deeply you breathe, the more fully you live. Breath carries not just oxygen, but peace, clarity, and emotional balance. It has the power to calm the nervous system, lower stress, and restore the natural harmony that modern living often disrupts. Movement, Barbara explains, is the breath made visible. When the body moves, whether through gentle stretching, walking, or even laughter, the lungs expand, the heart pumps stronger, and circulation improves. She encourages older adults to keep the body in motion, no matter how simple the activity. Even slow, mindful movements stimulate the lymphatic system, which removes toxins and strengthens immunity. The body responds to motion with gratitude, rewarding consistency with strength and flexibility. Barbara often says that movement doesn't have to be intense to be effective. What matters most is consistency and intention. When you walk with purpose, breathe deeply while you move, and stay present in your body, you activate your natural healing systems. Laughter, one of her favorite recommendations, is a joyful form of exercise for the lungs. It expands the chest, clears stagnant air, and boosts oxygen intake. Laughter releases tension and instantly changes one's emotional state, proving that wellness is not just physical, but deeply emotional. Barbara connects this to the idea that healing must involve joy. When the heart is light, the body follows. She reminds people that the lungs are influenced by emotions. Grief can constrict them, while happiness opens them. Therefore, healing the lungs requires nurturing both the body and the spirit. Breathing deeply during moments of joy or calm tells the body that it is safe, which allows healing to take root. This connection between breath and movement forms the foundation of BarbaraONeill's holistic philosophy. She teaches that the body's natural desire is to live, heal, and thrive, and by honoring that through regular breathing exercises and movement, anyone can restore their strength. Even in later years, the body can be retrained to breathe better, move easier, and function with renewed energy. Breath and motion are nature's medicine, available to everyone free of cost, and infinitely powerful when practiced with awareness and gratitude. Through them, Barbara shows that healing is not something you chase, it's something you breathe into existence every day. BarbaraONeill's teachings on nutrition as a natural detox for the lungs reveal how deeply food affects every breath we take. She reminds people that the lungs, like all organs, rely on the nourishment we provide through our daily meals. What we eat can either cleanse and strengthen the respiratory system or clog and weaken it. Barbara emphasizes that food is not just fuel, it is information for the body. Every bite communicates with the cells, determining whether the body moves toward healing or disease. For those who struggle with shallow breathing, fatigue, or frequent coughing, she explains that the lungs are often overloaded with toxins from poor diet, processed foods, and environmental pollutants. To restore lung health, she encourages a return to simple, natural foods that come directly from the earth. Fresh fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and herbs provide the body with the nutrients and antioxidants it needs to repair damaged tissues and reduce inflammation. Leafy greens like spinach and kale, rich in chlorophyll, help oxygenate the blood and detoxify the respiratory system. Ginger and turmeric are highlighted for their powerful anti-inflammatory properties, helping to clear mucus and improve circulation in the lungs. Citrus fruits such as oranges, lemons, and grapefruits provide vitamin C, which strengthens immune function and aids in breaking down phlegm. Barbara often compares these foods to a gentle internal cleanser that works quietly but effectively, removing residues and restoring balance. She also stresses that nutrition should not be about strict diets or deprivation, but about making wise, loving choices that honor the body. When food is natural and alive, it gives life. She cautions against processed foods, refined sugars, and heavy dairy products, which tend to create mucus and congestion in the airways. These foods burden the lungs and make breathing less efficient. Barbara believes that the modern diet has drifted too far from nature, causing the body to lose its natural ability to cleanse itself. By returning to whole unprocessed foods, people can reactivate their body's innate healing power. She also emphasizes the importance of proper digestion, as a sluggish digestive system can contribute to toxin buildup that eventually affects the lungs. Eating slowly, avoiding overeating, and choosing fresh, high-fiber meals allow the body to absorb nutrients more effectively and eliminate waste efficiently. BarbaraONeill connects mindful eating to mindful living. When people eat with awareness, gratitude, and moderation, their bodies respond positively. She encourages savoring food, recognizing that each meal is an opportunity to heal. The lungs, being organs of both intake and release, reflect what we consume and what we let go of emotionally. A diet filled with vibrant, plant-based food supports not just physical detoxification, but emotional clarity as well. Clean food creates clean energy, and clean energy sustains clear breathing. Through nutrition, Barbara teaches that we can purify the lungs naturally, rebuild their strength, and restore the body's natural rhythm of vitality and balance. The more natural the food, the more alive the breath becomes, and the more youthful and energized the entire body feels. BarbaraONeill's message about hydration and herbal support for breathing emphasizes the importance of water as the foundation of all life and healing. She explains that many people suffer from hidden dehydration, and this subtle lack of water affects every organ, especially the lungs. The lungs are made up of delicate tissues that depend on moisture to function properly. When the body lacks adequate hydration, mucus in the airways becomes thick and sticky, making it harder to breathe and reducing the lungs' ability to clear out dust, allergens, and toxins. Barbara teaches that drinking enough clean water is one of the simplest yet most powerful ways to improve lung health, increase energy, and support the body's natural detoxification processes. She encourages people, especially older adults, to start their day with a glass of pure water to awaken the organs and prepare the body for oxygen exchange. Throughout the day, consistent hydration keeps the respiratory system lubricated and the immune system strong. She often points out that people tend to replace water with coffee, sugary drinks, or processed juices, which can dehydrate the body even more. True hydration comes only from clean water and water, rich foods like fresh fruits and vegetables. But Barbara reminds her listeners that the feeling of thirst is already a sign of dehydration, and by the time you notice it, your cells are already craving water. She encourages sipping water slowly and regularly, allowing the body to absorb it properly rather than drinking large amounts all at once. Staying hydrated also improves circulation, which means oxygen can reach every cell more efficiently. The result is clearer breathing, steadier energy, and a calmer mind, along with water. BarbaraONeill highlights the incredible power of herbal remedies to naturally support the lungs. She believes that nature has provided plants that work in harmony with the body to strengthen and cleanse the respiratory system. Herbs such as thyme, eucalyptus, peppermint, and licorice root are known for their ability to open airways, soothe irritation, and reduce inflammation. Drinking warm herbal teas throughout the day not only hydrates the body, but also delivers healing compounds directly to the lungs through steam and aroma. Peppermint tea helps clear congestion, eucalyptus supports easier breathing, and thyme acts as a natural antibacterial agent for the lungs. Barbara also praises the value of steam inhalation with essential oils, a simple home remedy that moistens the airways and clears mucus without medication. Hydration and herbs together create a gentle, natural system of healing that aligns with how the body is designed to function. Barbara explains that when the body is hydrated and supported by nature's medicines, it becomes more resilient, adaptable, and alive. The lungs begin to feel lighter, breathing becomes effortless, and the body experiences renewed energy. She encourages people to treat every sip of water and every cup of herbal tea as an act of self-care, a small but powerful ritual that feeds life into every breath. Through consistent hydration and the wisdom of herbs, BarbaraONeill shows that vibrant health can be restored one mindful sip at a time. BarbaraONeill's belief in the power of a positive mindset and gratitude highlights the deep connection between the mind, body, and breath. She teaches that the way we think and feel has a direct influence on how we breathe, how our organs function, and how our body heals. When a person is filled with worry, anger, or fear, their breathing becomes shallow and restricted. This limits oxygen intake, which in turn affects energy, mood, and even immunity. On the other hand, when a person feels peaceful, thankful, and content, their breathing naturally deepens and slows, sending a message to the entire body that it is safe, calm, and ready to heal. Barbara often reminds her listeners that the mind is the most powerful healing tool we possess. The body follows the instructions of the mind, and by cultivating positive thoughts and emotions, we can guide the body toward balance and vitality. She explains that gratitude is one of the most transformative emotions because it shifts the focus away from what is lacking and toward what is abundant. When people wake up with gratitude, they begin the day in a state of openness and appreciation. This not only improves mood, but also expands the lungs and energizes the nervous system. Barbara encourages people to practice deep breathing while thinking of something they are thankful for, as this combination of mental and physical awareness magnifies healing. The heart and lungs work together in harmony when the mind is calm and oxygen flows more freely throughout the body. Gratitude lowers stress hormones, balances blood pressure, and improves sleep quality. It is a natural form of medicine that requires no cost, only awareness. Barbara also emphasizes that mindset plays a major role in aging gracefully. Many older adults unconsciously accept decline as inevitable, but this belief itself becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. She urges people to replace thoughts of limitation with thoughts of renewal, possibility, and strength. The body is listening to every word and thought we generate, and it responds accordingly. A person who believes in their ability to heal and grow will take actions that align with that belief. Breathing more deeply, eating more mindfully, and moving with purpose. Barbara often says that optimism is oxygen for the soul. When the mind is filled with hope, the body finds the strength to repair. She teaches that nurturing a positive mindset is not about ignoring challenges, but about choosing to see beyond them. It is the decision to focus on healing instead of pain, on progress instead of decline. This mental shift changes physiology by calming the nervous system and improving the body's ability to recover. Gratitude and positivity create a ripple effect throughout every cell, strengthening both emotional and physical resilience. BarbaraONeill's message reminds people that youthfulness is not measured by years, but by energy and attitude. A grateful, peaceful mind keeps the lungs open, the heart strong, and the spirit alive. Through gratitude and positivity, we invite health, longevity, and joy into every breath we take.